Okay, it's Red here with RedDragonLeo.com, and it is a Monday. I wanted to wait a few days over the weekend before I did this video to see if anything came up, any news came up, and some interesting things did come up. So, but it's not a false flag event, but it could be exactly what we're looking for as for a turn in the market. But before I do that, let's go ahead and go over the charts. Not that they've been working too well, but you never know. I mean, every now and then these charts work very well, and it's just in extreme manipulation time periods that they don't. And that's the time periods that we get frustrated as traders, that here you follow the charts and they work, technical analysis works, and then all of a sudden it stops working and it just goes to extremes. And I'm sure Ron Walker over there at the Chart Pattern Trader gets very frustrated too, as I do. So he's not alone on that. So anyway, looking here at the daily chart, we this candle right here was, of course, on very light volume, but I looked back at some of the other time periods, and I never seen a single time period where it gapped down and just kept on going and didn't go at least back up to equal and Pearson a little bit before it tanked, on down. In most cases, the next day was a spinning top, or just a continuation candle that just keeps on going. But you can see it there. You can barely see it because of this line. You can see the little red candle. It just opened up either down and came back up, or it just opened straight up flat and then went down. Of course, here on this big candle, you had a continuation candle, which was another big candle, and in this one here, you had your kind of little pause day, and the next day was another little pause day. Same thing here. Here's a big candle up, and a little pause day that day, and a spinning top a little bit down that day. These are both considered pause days, and that's just what I'm calling them, as the market just kind of consolidates, works off its overbought condition. Down here, same scenario. You had a big white candle up. It opened up, looks like it opened up there, and it must have went back up a little bit. You can't see it for that line, but it's basically about where it opened. And then it went down and closed down lower. Let's see. Even here, after this flash crash, after this big long candle here, and then here, the same thing. You can see it had a pause day the next day, but it did go down, but it ended up going back up above as well. And then the next day had another long white candle, and it opened down just a little bit, but did go up and go above it to clear out those stops before it tanked back down. And I guess this one here is probably the only case where the market opened lower and never went back up, and it just went down. But you really can't consider that one up on an up move, because you can see it was moving down. The market was moving down. So yeah, that was a long white candle, but it wasn't really the same as these ones that are in uptrends. Like this one here was in an uptrend from the bottom here, and so it was just, if you count this right here, this was a move down. So even if you did count, that's only one. Okay, so the rest of them clearly show that Tuesday when we open, even if we open down a little bit on a gap, they should run up and at least be equal. But in most cases, they pierce through it, which would be our 118.16 print. It's where you would expect it to go. If you looked at every single one of these, they just barely pierced through. It's what they did, barely pierced through above it, just to clear out those overhead stops. So it was disappointing to me that they only hit 117.77 as opposed to 118.16 on Friday. I really wanted to see them, do this, tank it over the weekend, but it never happened. So so Monday, or not Monday, today's Monday. So Tuesday, I would look for maybe it to open down a little bit, run back up at some point, go up there above, clear out those overhead stops, and then roll back down, and roll back down the rest of the week. I'm hoping, if everything goes right. You know, we should see a move down if this thing really gets accelerated over the course of 4 days. We should at least see 1260. I mean, really, in all honesty, we ought to see 1240. And this is just on some simple technical corrections without any really major news. This is just simple sell-off. I mean, this would just be a, you know, a normal correction. If something really, really bad happened, of course, it would really take a lot more. But you got tons of earnings out next week. Not much on the news front, economic news, but the earnings are big next week. Lots of them, lots of companies out there with earnings. So I know they can lie. I know they do lie all the time about their earnings. It's all fabricated. It's all made up. We know that, but let's hope that this is all in the cards. That they've already sold their longs and that they want to go short, so they want the market to tank on their own stock. So let's hope that they are the evil, greedy bastards we expect they are, and they go ahead and trash their own stock. So we know that back in this time period here, you know, I was reporting that there was massive amounts of insider selling. So they were selling from this November period here all the way up through here. I think they were all selling, trying to get out of their stock slowly but surely. You know, it takes them a month or two to get out of these positions. So, and you can see it. I mean, you can see some of the days that this happened. I mean, you see this day right here, and you follow it on up. And what was it? It was a black candle day, but yet the day ended up showing up as a as gray as opposed to red. Red means distribution, and the gray is supposed to mean accumulation. Well, there's no accumulation here. This was massive distribution. This was a big day down, and the government, you know, put a bunch of POMO money in, I'm sure, and kept the market up, but it still closed down just a hair. So they were dumping hard in these days. So the only accumulation, and then same thing here. Look at this one right here. If we follow this one up, what is it? It's the red day. You know, so even though it's gray, you know, fooling us, I think that's the red day. But anyway, the bottom line is we were very, very close to the fake print, very, very close to it being fulfilled. I am expecting next week to go down at you know, at least 30 points, if not 50. 1240. I mean, I'd love to see more than that, but that would take some type of big event. So will we get it? I don't know. Maybe. It's all what's planned in the cards. Looking at the 60-minute chart, you can clearly see we banged up against this, pretty close to it. We just need just a little push higher to hit our fake print. Again, now we are within range of the fake print to where you could consider it fulfilled, in my opinion. Back in January of this year, or January of last year, when the first fake print I got was shown to me on 1/11/2010. 1/11 again, folks. Put the math together. They love 11s. You know, it's very ritualistic to them. 111. So anyway, when that happened last year, we were, let's see, right here. When I seen the fake print, it was January 11th. When it bottomed out, it was dead set in the middle of the Legatus pilgrimage, and the fake print was for 1047. 1047.20, and it actually pierced it and went down to 1044.50. So it pierced it by a little bit. I think $2.70 or something like that. So it went a little bit past it. In this case, we fell a little bit short of the upside fake print. Not here on the S&P, but on the Dow. But on the Dow, we fell short 39 cents on the DIA, which, if you do the math, since the DIA is 1/10 of the Dow, that's $3.90 approximately. So on a percentage basis, that's even closer, because the Dow's, you know, 11,000 something, as opposed to the market here being 1,200 and something. So it's almost as the S&P is 1/10 of the Dow, it seems, if you understand what I'm saying. So on a percentage basis, it was much closer than this one here. So this one pierced it on the momentum down, and we may have just had a lack of momentum on the upside. So that's possible. So I'm thinking it is close enough to be considered for field. That's why I did go short over the weekend, just in case something happens. I'm not going to catch the exact top. I know it. And I'm in February options, so I'm okay. I got quite a bit of time, for it to move down. So if it does not, and it turns and goes back up and pierces and goes through the 118.16 print on the Dow, then that would put it at about almost 1,300, probably just a hair under 1,300 here on the SPX. So that's a possibility. Everybody's looking for 1,300. So are they going to give it to us? If everybody's looking for it and waiting on it, then what's the odds that they'll go ahead and hit it? To me, if they hit 1,300, they're going to have to go through, because every bear in the world will jump on that train just as soon as it hits 1,300. There's got to be a ton of bears ready to short at 1,300. So why would you go there and let them on board? To me, if I was the market makers, I would turn and tank the market before it gets there and make the bears chase it. And that's the way you do it. If you go and hit it, you're going to have to pierce it, because you're going to have to chop around at 1,300 for a while, let them get on board, and then have one big intraday push up to 13.10 or 13.15 to just do a stop sweep and wipe them all out. Well, that's way above the diamond 118.16 print. I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't. To me, I think that they're going to fall short of 1,300. But others say we're going to go 1,300 and beyond. So, we'll see whether it's the fake print that works or whether it's technical analysis, I guess, in this case. But we know technical analysis ain't working, but technical analysis in this case is very bearish, at least from what I can see. Put to call ratios crazy. It's very at extreme levels of complacency, meaning there's way too many bulls on board this train. So, and another thing to look at right here, you can see a gap. They love to fill gaps on the way down. So you see this gap right here. So that right there is another indication that we could very easily, just in this coming week, very easily pop down to 1260 very easily and fill that gap on any bad news, which would drop us outside of this rising trend line. So we've got to get outside that trend line if the bears are going to have any chance. I do think it's going to happen. Whether or not we pop down a little bit in the morning and come back up for one final push to hit the DIA's fake print and fall short of 1,300. It's awful close to it, though, I can tell you that. So we're close enough, in my opinion. So on the downside, you definitely got this print here, 1260, and then the next one would be kind of around this 1240 area. They had a lot of consolidation right in that area, and that's why I believe those are two targets at least for next week. Even though we got a shortened week, it's still possible that can happen. And you can see the 15-minute chart. They rammed it into the close, popped it up, and it's ready to roll over as well. Not that, again, that some of these charts are working. No point watching the 5-minute chart. Did want to show you Cobra's charts, or Cobra's stuff. And Cobra's really good on looking at past history to see what happened and how it relates to today. And he's covered quite a bit of things, but one of the things that I like, did I refresh the page here? Let me see here. Yes, I did. Okay. Let's see. This here chart here is very important. As you can see, the days after Martin Luther King Day were negative. Every single one of them. So +1 means the day after Martin Luther King Day. -1s means the days before. And the market has been positive the days before. So the bears have definitely got history on their side. This is a historical point of view. So this is +1 day, +2 days, so this would be Tuesday tomorrow, this would be Wednesday, this would be Thursday, and this would be Friday. That's what these would be. You know, some other things. It says the Dow was up 13 of 18, the first trading day of January expiration week. That'd be Tuesday, tomorrow. So that could be our thing. We go down in the morning, maybe up back in the evening to hit the fake print, fool everybody out, then down the rest of the week. January expiration day down 10 of 12. That's a Friday. That's a Friday, folks. This coming Friday. And the whole week is horrible historically, 8-11 times. So, you know, we got everything going for us. You can look at his VIX chart as well. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits here. I do believe, you know, we're at support. I do believe this VIX is going to pop and the market's going to go down. So there's all kinds of other indicators besides just looking at the market and the rituals. You know, everything here is pointing at it. Here's his bullish percentage, way too high. You can find all these again on Cobra's blog, and you can see it is way too high. And look what it marked. I mean, this clearly says we're at a top here. This one marked at least two down days. This one marked the flash crash, and this one here marked didn't seem to work out too good on this one. But you got other indicators besides this. You know, you got to combine all the indicators together, obviously. So anyway, I'll let you go to his chart and look at it as well. Let me get over to the other thing I wanted to show you here, which was a very, very important find that Seeker 401 put up, and that is about Legatus. Bob Chapman newsletter, slush fund of top politicians found at the Vatican Bank. Obama, Clinton, Roberts, Legatus split. This is big news, folks, because Legatus, which is here, the Legatus fake, you know, organization. Oh, they're real, all right, but they're fake Christians. There's nothing Christian about these people. Maybe the individual, you know, poor people in there, but I don't think they allow anyone poor. They're all rich, and so they're all, you know, they all worship money. It's all about money to these people. You have to buy in. Takes so many millions of dollars of net asset worth that before you can even get in there. So what's that tell you, folks? Does that sound like anything a Christian would do? Anything Catholic? You know, and I'm not saying anything bad about any religions. I think they're all the same. We all worship the same God, and that is God's source or prime creator, as the aliens have said many times to many people, that the universe basically is God, that, you know, he created everything. Anyway, we're not going to go into that. You can believe what you want. Everybody wants to believe what they want, but you know, these people here are clearly fake. It's, you know, I got a picture here that I thought was appropriate, and that is right here. I found this picture online on another website. And this is so appropriate. This is so appropriate, folks. So here is the banker man worshiping the reptilians and working with the gray guys. And Washington, D.C. behind the triangle here with the eye, the pyramid, I mean, with the eye, you know. And here's God coming down on his spaceship. I guess this would represent the Palladians, the humanoid, the future humans that are here to help us, and in here a bunch of other, you know, greedy people as well. I think that's what, Nancy Pelosi or something. I don't know. Anyway, and money. That's a great picture that I found on a website. So I'll put that up on the blog for you folks if you want to check it out. I think it's funny, but it's so true. It's exactly what it is. You know, this could represent the Vatican Bank. I mean, these evil reptilians are in the Vatican. I mean, it's just where they're at. So, and they worship. Anyway, there's another. This article was very worth reading. So I didn't mean to do that. And it basically says here that let's see, the source of the funds for the accounts in almost every instance was found to be the U.S. Treasury. The gangsters, gang. The Federal Reserve Board. The gangsters. Beneficiaries of the covert Vatican accounts, including Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, each of the Obama children, Michelle Obama's mother, all the Bushes. We knew George Bush was, you know, trash. The Clintons, too. Chelsea Clinton, Joe Biden, Timothy Geithner, all the gangsters, folks, all the gangsters. Here's the gangster gang's bank account, and it was seized. I mean, this was seized. Their money was seized. This is big information. I mean, whenever it makes mainstream media, if it ever gets to mainstream media, we hope it does. We hope that I guess since this is on the forum at prisonplanet.com, that's Alex Jones's show. He's got a lot of people following, so he is hopefully some of the other mass media, mainstream media publications will pick up what Alex Jones picks up here and broadcast this, because this is big news. They range from a few million to over 1 billion, and the amount of people is between 600 and 700 people. This is just phenomenal news that they've actually seized the money of the gangsters. I told you, this 2012 thing, it is all about the end of the reign of power. If you want to believe some things in the Bible, believe in the Revelations that says that the evil people will be destroyed by God. And by God's people, by the angels, I guess. So you can call the angels the good aliens, I guess, the Palladians, whatever, and the individual people inside the White House that are good, that are still left inside the Pentagon, the white hats inside the Pentagon, the good forces of the planet that are fighting against these evil, corrupt people, that they will go down. So, they are making the prophecies come true in the Bible. Every single one of them. They're very into this. That's one of the things that they do. They're ritualistic sacrifices where they take children and rape them and kill them and murder them and eat them. It's sick in these ritualistic things, and they give them to these reptilian demons that are in the Vatican, in this right here, world's longest cave passage found in Vietnam. And this is there'll be caves underneath the Vatican and stuff. I mean, this is just that they're going to take these to. I just showed you this Vietnam. I don't think this has anything to do with the Vatican, but I mean, they've got underground places underneath the Vatican that are hidden, just like in the movie that you've seen with what is it, Tom Hanks. That stuff is real, folks. The reality shows that you see on TV, that's the fiction. Nobody lives like that. Those are idiots. They're acting half the time, acting more crazy and more drunk because they're on TV. And the reality is the stuff you see in science fiction movies, like Stargate SG-1. That stuff is real. I mean, we have underground stargates here on this planet. There's one off the coast of Yemen. Go and type in the words Yemen Stargate and go look it up for yourself. It's there, folks. It's real. That one there is, it's not supposed to be able to neutralize all weapons of destructions, not just any weapon of mass destruction, but guns too, simple guns. So as you can see, the Legatus pilgrimages, here's February the 3rd through the 5th. So, and Legatus is breaking up, according to this article, that they'll be breaking up, that they're split down the middle, that they're upset. It says there, the disclosures are split, the Roman Catholic Legatus gangster gang down the middle. Good. I'm glad they're fighting among themselves. The wolves are fighting each other, and so that leaves them all far back, the sheep. So this could be the big news to take the market down, folks. It really could. And it could very well go down into the February 3rd date period. Or it could be very simply just the way I thought it was going to be, which was we have some type of wave 1 down between now and Legatus pilgrimage. And then we have the big wave, the wave 3, starting after that pilgrimage. So that very well could be, the scenario. We could go down here, like I said, the 1240 to 1260 to 1240 range, like in some type of the first wave down, and just me guessing, trying to get this time frame wise, and then bounce back up a little bit, chop around, and then go down again in a nice wave 3, and then and then back up a little bit inside of that wave 3, because this wave 3 down. So for example, if you pop down here to 1240 on the first wave down, then you have a nice wave 2 back up, come and try to fall short of this right here. Maybe it gets right in this area here, it chops. Okay, there's your wave 2. Now you're getting ready to take a wave 3 down. It could be down to here very easily. Now inside of that wave 3, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'd have 5 waves down inside of that wave 3. So this could be the entire move to take us down to that 1060, which is the 106 fake print on the SPY. So this, and the whole thing could be a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and then that whole move, folks, is a major wave 1. Would be a major wave 1. And then you would, and this again just speculating, and then that would be right into this February time frame if it goes down that fast. It did here. It went down pretty quick. So it's just a matter of days. I don't know if we're going to have enough time for that or not. But and then of course after that 106 print, I am expecting a nice bounce. And then whenever that's done, at whatever point, I think we'll roll and head on back down to our Dow 8300 print, which is also the SPX 885. But that's going to take a while. That's going to maybe be late this year for that happens. So let's just worry about the first one. The first one, for the rest of this week, I'm looking for a minimum of 1260 to be hit, probably more like 1240. And then right here would be really nice if it had an intraday peak coming down here to 1225, 1230 range, that peak right there. That would be nice, but I don't know what to see. So anyway, so we got some good news there for that. There was also an article that was posted here by Richie that is also a very good article. I'll put this on my link on the blog as well, and this is about the whistleblower Rudolph Elmer, who plans to hand over the offshore banking secrets of the rich and famous to WikiLeaks on Monday. Plans to hand this over, and again, approximately 40 politicians. I wonder if Bush and Obama and Clinton and all the gangster gang are all part of this as well too. So they've got money hidden in Legatus that just got seized, and in the Vatican banks, and then they got money here in the Swiss bank accounts that has just going to be exposed as well. I'm telling you, the cracks are hitting the fan. The cracks are hitting the dam, and the crap is hitting the fan. Let me get that right. This market is ready to just roll over when this news makes mainstream media. And they'll try to keep it out of the press as much as they can, but I'll put this link on here as well. This guy's exposing them. He's worked inside the bank in the Swiss banking industry, and basically says that privacy, he agrees that privacy in the banking for the average person that's legitimate should be there, but he said this is abuse. He says they are basically being paid to hide their money for tax evasion, so they don't have to pay no taxes. So they want to tax us to death, but they don't want to pay any. Typical gangster gangs, typical thugs, huh? So anyway, this link will be there as well. This is some very important news, and the other one as well with Seeker 401 with his stuff as well. Very, very important news. So definitely, I'll put this link on there as well for you to read. Definitely read this as well. So I think the crap is getting ready to hit the fan, folks. That's all I got to say. So I'm looking, again, you see what I'm saying, 1260, 1240 at least next week by Friday. That's what I'm hoping for, and hoping that this fake print works in this time. So anyway, gang, that's about all I got to say. Sorry it's taking me so long, but I did want to wait to see if we had any type of event over the weekend, because I knew Monday was a holiday, nothing would happen much. So that is it, gang. I'll try to do a video update through the week as things happen, and kind of go from there. Good luck, everyone.